Taja. Your performance tonight with assists, steals, and a pretty significant share of points. What was kind of going through your head heading into this game? Do you feel like it was a bounce back game at all for you?
Do I feel like what?
Do you feel like it was a bounce back game for you at all?
Yes, I think our game plan for today was just to get out and run. We knew that we can definitely run and get a lot of points in transition. We had 42 points in the paint, so once I seen our posts were running, I was just trying to get to the ball.
And then, I mean, in terms of the assists you had tonight, what was kind of going through your head there coming down the floor, and how does that kind of help bring variety to the offense? I mean, like I was going through the stat line, and 9 of Mackenzie Ingram's 11 points. What all assists that you had?
Well, my job as a point guard is to find my teammates. I want to put them in the best position possible to score, so I just look to do that every night.
It seemed like you got a lot more aggressive after they called that foul on you at the end of the second quarter. Was that did that spark it, or was it something at halftime that you just decided to be more aggressive in the second half?
Yeah, I wasn't too happy with that call, so I was really determined to get the ball back. So I just tried everything I can to get it back.
With Kalai, she wasn't shooting too well tonight. What do you tell a teammate like that going into the half when she's shooting 2 and 9?
Just keep your head. Just keep your head and just be the best cheerleader you can be. And when you get in the game, just try to do better.
So with 11 points and 7 assists, you were close to your first career double-double. Was that ever going through your head at all?
Not really. I'm just concerned about winning. That's the main goal for me, is just winning.
Anything else for Taja? All right, Taja, thank you.
Thank you.
See you Morgan.
See you, Coach.
Good job. Thanks. Questions for Coach Taylor?
Coach, well, Taja emphasized, I know when Q was here earlier, she emphasized, you wanted to get on, on transition. You outscored them 16-0, so you feel happy with the game plan you kind of implemented?
Yeah, I mean, we thought that we could run the floor and score in transition. Our goal was to have 20 transition points. So we didn't quite meet that, but we were close, and we pushed the pace really well, and I thought it allowed us to open the floor up and find different options.
You guys forced 20 turnovers tonight. How did you feel about your defense's production on the, how did you feel about the play on the defensive side of the ball?
I thought it was okay. There were times where we had some mental mistakes and left shooters wide open. And that happens sometimes when you sub the way we do, making sure that everybody's on the same page with our game plan and what we're doing. But we're at a time in the season where we just can't have those types of mistakes. And, they missed some shots tonight that when we don't miss. Waylon goes 0 for 4 in the first half, and that's not who she is. She is a dynamic shooter, so we got lucky a couple times too. So that's some things that we've got to go correct, because it's going to eventually bite us if we continue to let shooters like that loose and have those mental errors or lack of communication. And it didn't happen a lot, but we want to be almost perfect defensively, and there's always room for improvement.
It seemed like in the first half, number 0 for Vanderbilt, Kayla Overbeck, she seemed like a couple of times she had like a couple, open chances in the paint, like she was sort of wide open, and like in the second half that kind of stopped. What did you kind of tell the team to, stop her from getting wide open in the paint?
I'm not sure if it stopped. She finished with 21 points, but Kayla's a really good player, number 1. Number 2, it was from penetration. So their guards were penetrating us, which forced our post players to rotate and help, and it left her wide open. So they were just penetrating and dumping passes to her, and we couldn't rotate and recover and get to her. So in the first half, she got a lot of easy baskets. And then in the second half, she just outworked us, and she posted hard and got the ball. We fouled her. She scored from the free throw line. She scored off a turnaround jumper. So they really made a point of emphasis to get the ball inside to her, and we never had an answer for her.
Coach, following up on Taja in terms of her aggressiveness but her unselfishness, how do you feel like she shows that throughout the process of practice and in games? Like, when does she best show that mixture of unselfishness and aggressiveness?
Well, every day. That doesn't just happen when you turn the lights on, so every day. And I think what helped Taja the most was when she sat out last year, when she transferred. She really, really did a good job of earning her teammates' trust, watching film, learning our plays, knowing our system, and knowing who needs the ball and when and how they like it. So she was able to come in this year, the year that she played, and it was an easy transition for her. But that's who she is as a person. She understands that she has the ability to score in a lot of different ways, but she also understands there's other people on the floor who can score too, and she doesn't have to do it herself. So she's been really good at knowing when to keep the ball and when to pass it, and finding the open player.
When one of your more dominant offensive players, like Kalai, is having an off night, do you ever adjust the offensive game plan mid-game to around that?
No. You know, the shots that Kalai missed were good shots. You know, I wasn't worried. Some nights you just don't find the rim, but she went and got 11 rebounds. She defended. You know, I was fine with what Kalai did. The difference in last year and this year is if Kalai didn't score last year, a lot of the times we didn't win. We have other options this year. We have other weapons, and thankfully, most of the year when one of our scores, whether it's Kalaya or Mac or whoever it is, doesn't score, somebody else does. So I'm not really interested in making a big deal out of Kalaya not scoring, because there's been games that Mac didn't score or Kalaya or whoever it is, and we've had other people to step up, and that's why this team has been so good.
So do you feel like your team is sort of prepared and confident to go on this 2-game stretch here against 2 ranked teams?
I think so. You know, our focus up until right now has been Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's a very tough team. They're going to be really tough to deal with if you meet them in the tournament, and looking forward to their future. So we haven't even talked about Tennessee. We'll talk about that tomorrow when we see them at 4 o'clock. But, you know, you play a tough non-conference schedule so that you can be prepared for not only Tennessee and South Carolina, but every team in this league is tough, guys. We don't hold one game anymore higher than another, because if you do that, you're going to get beat. So we don't make a big deal out of the only big deal we make is the team we're playing next, and that's what's most important.
You were speaking about Mackenzie earlier, and obviously they honored her before the game. What can you say about her play recently, and is there anything you said to her while you were down there at midcourt?
It's just that I was proud of her. You know, a lot of people forget that Max sat out most of her sophomore season with the heart condition, and so to miss most of your sophomore year and still be able to get 1,000 points is a lot. You know, there's a lot of dynamic scores that have come through Georgia women's basketball, and she can now say that she's a part of that group. And I think the biggest thing for her is that this year her focus has not been scoring. It's about being a great leader and rebounding the basketball and doing other things, and so her scoring has just come, and so I'm happy for her. She's a kid who's never had one problem off the floor. She goes to class, she does what she's supposed to do. So anytime, you know, you have a young lady like that that achieves success, you're happy for her, and you just want her to enjoy the moment.
Thank you, guys.